Everybody, I'm Miss Briggs. I will be your art history instructor this semester. I'm so glad you've chosen to take this course. I have been an art teacher for over 20 years. I've studied art and art history my whole life. I'm a little obsessed with it, as everybody I know knows. And I've traveled almost every vacation to see works of art. I've seen all of these works of art except for King Tut, who's on my bucket list. It's what I love. So I hope you love looking at art as much as I do in this course. And plenty of you have seen things in person. Feel free to let me know about that or will in the future. So I hope you enjoy the journey. And that journey will take us through time. Art history, to me, makes total sense because it's linear, meaning it lines up and seems to unfold one thing to another. And you can see here from these mothers and children that even though the subject is the same, either the medium, how it was made or what it was made of, or this is pastel, this is photography, this is oil paint, and this is tempera paint. That's the materials or the style, right? How each looks will change as well. So this is a language man has spoken for hundreds and thousands of years, and I hope that you enjoy looking at it. And it will look very different. Hopefully you'll like some of it and appreciate all of it. All right, what does the course look like? Well, here's our home page. On the left are the assignments by unit. You can see the bold is the unit. And then the middle block is information for you. It's me, my office hours, and contacts. Mona Lisa is a live click to your grades. And this pop art is a live link to your pacing guide, which you've already been sent. Below that is our course bulletin board, and I will update that every Monday. And that will tell you what's due that week. So you'll have the pacing guide to tell you, you'll have the bulletin board to tell you, this calendar over here on the right. If you hover over the blue, it tells you what's due. And then I send announcements. And then also we have the Remind app, which I would like you to join if you can. And that will be a thing that you get, a little pop-up you get on your computer or your phone telling you what is due. So there's a lot of checkpoints for not to fall behind. All right, so there's 8 units in the course. Each unit will have reading materials and videos to watch. And then there'll be little quizzes within those, but also there's a unit quiz at the end. And then the main part of the unit grade is your forum response, which is to analyze or compare or whatever they're asking you to do. It's an in-depth little sort of essay that you will, craft and answer a question, and then you will respond to another student. And then towards the end of the course, there are 2 creative projects. There is a final exam. I'll talk more about this throughout the semester, but just so you're prepared, it is 50 multiple choice questions. So I like to mention this at the beginning of the course because now you have your eyes on the prize. You know where you're going. You need to know things at the end so that you're not, unfocused in your study. And I have other ways of doing that. It's worth 20% of your grade. It's held at your school during this time period, May 3 through 9. Seniors do have to take it, and this is for anybody. If you meet all the conditions, it's a possibility that you can take the exam early, but we'll cross that bridge when we get to it. Please note the sequence is not locked in this course, but I highly recommend not skipping around so that you are on pace and that that it makes sense. It does not make sense to start with Unit 8 if you don't know all the stuff that leads to Unit 8, because as I said, art history unfolds over time and it's constantly looking back at what was made before it. So, for instance, the Greek Parthenon here, you're going to learn all about that. And then when you get to American architecture, you'll understand why suddenly, especially Washington, D.C., it looks like ancient Greece and sometimes ancient Rome. You will understand why and where it came from. Whereas if you just jump into Unit 7, it won't make much sense. You'll have to keep going back and looking anyway. So I'm not in charge of locking it. I would if I could, but just so you know. All right, so pacing. The deadlines are set for Monday and Thursday on the pacing guide, and that just seems to be a successful way for students to organize their time and to shoot for those days as things that are due. That doesn't mean you have to pass them in on those days. You can obviously work ahead. Um, and I do recommend working ahead for anything, especially if you know you're going to be away or you have plans on the weekend, you don't want to do everything on Monday, etc. The only caveat is if you are way ahead and you've answered a forum question that nobody's there yet, you'll have to remember to go back and answer the forum. So if you're ahead. So also, if you ever need feedback on something, you can always send me a draft or send a question, or if you turned it in, you're welcome to say, hey, will you get to my essay right away, etc. So this is the pacing guide, and this is just part of it, obviously. So just to show you that this is, unit 1 here, and unit 1 has a deadline here highlighted in yellow. The end of unit is important to keep in mind for 2 reasons. One is after the end of the unit, if you have not turned things in, they are subject to late point deductions, and that's built in on every rubric. The other thing is that anything not turned in the unit is not factored in as a non-grade until this date. So when this date hits, February 1st, then I close the unit, which just means I click a box. You can still see it and you can still work on it. But anything that is unfinished will suddenly be a 0 for that unit. So that means your grade will suddenly look differently if you have not done something. So that's why these dates are important. You can still do the work. You just will have a 0 until you complete it after this date. All right, if you have any questions, let me know about that. Attendance, you must be present every 2 weeks, and that means you must turn in something that receives a grade. You have to do an assignment. You cannot just log in and read something or click a bunch of things and stay on for 5 minutes. That is not how attendance is checked. So every 7 days, if you have not logged in, you'll receive an email. It's set to be automatic. And you will get at least 2 warnings if you are in danger of being withdrawn for attendance violation. Of course, if you have like some extreme circumstances, please get in touch with me. All right, how to succeed, check your emails, communicate as soon as possible. If you're having any issues, keep on pace or ahead, set a schedule, do the work, watch the videos, do the readings. Again, you have your final to think about. Guessing is not knowledge. And then I am recommending taking notes. This is sort of stressed within the units as well, but each subchapter of each unit, so say for instance, this is the Egyptian subchapter of Unit 2, which is the ancient Near East. So when you click on Egypt, you see that this pops up over here, and down here is a list: terms to know, images to know. So the Aegean and the what other sub chapters are in Unit 2 also has this. So you could click on those first, write those down, or if you're making a Quizlet or you're doing it, you can make your own PowerPoint or Google Slides, write those down, and then when you go through the unit, take notes on those things. That is the easiest way to have a focused study rather than it's just all of this stuff at once, right? So that's the easiest way to keep on track and on pace and focused. Quizzes, the end of the unit quizzes, you are given 3 attempts. That's it. That's all you need. So if you take the quiz and you got 1 or 2 things wrong, in some cases there's only 2 questions, go back and look it up before taking the quiz again. Don't throw away your attempts. That's just lazy. You should get 100% on all your quizzes. Forums, and I'll go over this more at our meeting. You'll have choices in a lot of cases, so read everything carefully, follow instructions. There's a rubric to look at, which you should follow. Refer to the readings and videos when asked, which is always. Never copy and paste from readings without citations, or you'll get an academic violation. Add your images and resize them. You're asked for 2 images on most forums. You are also asked to respond to students, and we'll practice that. You do have to wait 5 minutes before you can see anybody else's post. So you have to post first, wait, and then you'll see everybody else's when you hit, post to forum again. So this is what a forum assignment looks like. This is the policies. That's generic for every unit. And then in red are the instructions and things that you should pay attention to. And then I've tweaked the rubric so that you can see exactly what you should be answering and looking for. And then the deadline is in the rubric as well. So pay attention to this. So choose whatever you're choosing or answer all these, and then go back and look at the rubric and make sure you got all the points. Use it as a checklist. A little note about that: plagiarism and using AI is against academic integrity code, and you will get a violation, so please don't. If you get the first one, you get is a warning, and then the second, you will be withdrawn from the course if you have copied or used AI or somebody else's work that is not your own. In a lot of cases, AI won't work anyway because you're asked something very specific about, take one building and compare it to a building in your own town, or tell us what you found interesting about this, or why did you choose this. This is something AI is not able to do. So just please do your own work. Remember the final. You're going to be at a loss if you have not done your own work the whole course. All right, best advice: read and watch everything, take notes, stay on pace, follow all instructions as closely as possible, use the rubric as your checkpoint, communicate. If you're having any difficulties or have questions, that's what I'm here for. I'm glad to help. Emails and texts are still school communications, as is the response on the forum, so please use an appropriate tone and language. You must check your grades and comments, and then email or text me when you have updated any missing parts, and we'll talk about more in the future. All right, what you need to do right away in this course. First, send an introduction to me. You can either message me on your dashboard or text me to our Google Class number, and that will indicate how you want to be contacted in the future. Tell me your name, what year you are in school, a hobby or favorite food, and your favorite artist. I hope you have one. If not, tell me your favorite movie and tell me why for either of those. Just a quick little contact with me, and then I will make a quick contact back to you, and then we'll count that as your personal contact. Signed up for the Remind app. Complete all introductory unit assignments and readings by Thursday, February 1st. It's not a lot. Read through the stuff, but do read it. There's important information there. And then you will be well on your way into Unit 2. Set a study schedule based on pacing guide. So take a good look at the pacing guide. Try to work around it. If you know you're not going to be around or something, figure it out. And then there is a live meeting on February 5th at 7 p.m. I would appreciate if you come live, but if you can't make it, it will be recorded for you to watch shortly after the meeting. And again, you can get in touch with me. This is our Google phone. You can email or dashboard text or dashboard message. I'll show you that. And I am available a lot of hours. So please just let me know however I can help. If you don't know how to message real quick, when you log into the Genius dashboard, in the middle, here's messages. This is not how you get those. That's how you see some messages that are archived. Over here on the left, the student messages. Here it's close up. You can see if you click that, this is the compose. So, or there's a reply button as well to mine if you open. So that's how you do the message on the dashboard. All right. It's going to be a great semester. Thanks for watching.